Welcome back. You're watching us here on Chartbusters on CNBC-TV18. The stock on our radar is Genus Power. The company looking to continue its growth trajectory despite a slowdown in tendering activity. Currently has an order book of over 30,000 crore rupees. Where does this business go? And more importantly, what does the company promise for the future? We have Jitendra Kumar Agarwal, who's the Joint Managing Director of the company, joins in now. Thanks a lot for joining in, sir. Before we talk about immediate numbers, etc., we gather from market intelligence that last week, there was a block which was launched by GIC. It was close to around 650 odd crores. Not sure if you're aware of, any communication, but that block was called off. Can you tell us if they gave you any reasons why? And is there a block which is likely in the very near future? Did you have a communication with GIC?
So, you have to understand one simple thing. GIC has two arms. One arm, they invest in the company as a shareholder, and one arm, we have created a platform with them. The other arm, we are not in touch with them on day-to-day basis, Chiswig's investment. So that particular arm and wanted to sell. This is the way they do the business. So once they've invested in the company has given them a great return. So they come out, maybe that is the way they work. So there's no communication between us regarding this block deal.
Okay, right. All right. The question is that, because businesses, you're promising for the business to be good, you've given them good returns, etc. If they wish to exit for the very near term, shareholders, apart from them, will have to face this liquidity event, right? So, just trying to understand.
So, that is the business model of an investment firm. How they work is better known to them. But what I understand, they're getting very good returns. And you have to understand one simple thing, the platform which is created between Genus and Gemstar, that is what matters the most. Today, that platform has an order book of 28,000 crores. And further, we are bidding almost every tender that is coming in the country. So we are working very, very strongly together.
Okay, all right. Got it, Mr. Agarwal. So we'll keep this aside then. Let's focus on a little bit more on the shareholding, though. The promoter entity had sold some small stake in the company, right, in the last year. Any further plans for them to sell any stake? And if demand is strong for your stock, there is close to around, I think, a large trust holding, which whenever that gets sold, the money comes back to the company. Any plans of liquidating that? So if you clarify on both the promoter holding and the trust holding, will you look to sell it?
So currently, we don't see both of them. Neither we are going to sell our own holding or nor the trust. So company has sufficient funds arrangement for the current business, so none is required.
Okay, all right. And just on Chiswig, just to complete that entire loop, they launched a block for 3.6% equity. They have about 15% equity. So at some point, this entire 15% will come into the market, right?
My common sense says that whatever they have invested, they have made much more than that. And with 3.6%, maybe that clearly gives them a very good upside. That is the only reason I can see behind it.
Okay, all right. Let's focus on business then. Since we're talking about GIC and that JV you briefly mentioned on, and as you mentioned, there are two separate arms. One part of the street is actually concerned with regard to these receivable days and the working capital cycle remaining elongated. Could you tell us what are the plans for this year? The working capital days that were last year, will they come down? If yes, by how much? And also your cash flows, will they turn positive? Because last year, in fact, you had a negative year.
So you have to understand the business. I'll take some time on this. The arrangement between Genus is all the orders are procured by Genus. They go to the platform, and platform is funded by GIC and Genus together. Then all the business comes back to Genus as an EPC player. So once we have a business as an EPC player, we start the project. And during the initial days of the project, all the investment is done by Genus Power. All this material is supplied by us, software is done by us, installation is done by us. And once the meters are getting installed, once you start getting the operation go live, which practically takes from the day the project starts to 6 to 8 months. After that, the cash flow starts coming in Genus Power. So all the projects you will see are in the initial stage. That is the reason you have seen the growth of there's more investment in the working capital in last financial year. Even in this financial year, in terms of number of days, you will see every month it will come down. But in the overall value, because we are growing very fast, it will go up. So absolute numbers in this year, in terms of working capital investment will go up. But in terms of number of days, you will see improvement every month.
So when does your cash flow from operations turn positive?
So cash flow from operations turns positive. Almost it will take 12 to 15 months where it will become a very, very positive cash flow.
All right. And in light of all this that you're talking about, if you could give us a sense on what rate at which your revenues and margins can grow in FY26, but more importantly, FY27, given all those projects that you're writing right now, you will be executing later as well.
So we have given a guidance of 4,000 crores during our call. So we maintain that guidance, and I am strongly feel we'll do much better than that.
That's this year. The year after that?
Year after that, I have further see a growth of 20-25% at least.
So you will do much better than 4,000 crores. One assumes that could be 4,300, 4,400 crores. On top of that, a 25% growth. So close to 6,000 crores by FY27 cannot be ruled out.
I cannot give any numbers right now, but I'm pretty confident on the way the business is going on.
And in terms of profitability, margins?
The margins, we have given a guidance of 18%. So we will definitely beat the guidance.
Okay, all right. What about order inflow, sir? Yes, your order book is solid as of now, and it gives you many years of visibility. But of late, we haven't heard of any big order wins. Do you expect that to turn in the coming year? I'm not sure whether last year we had a lot of elections, state elections, you had the central election as well. So could that be one of the reasons? I'm not sure about that. But could you tell us, in the coming year, in the next 6 months or so, should we hear about some more order wins?
So just to give you a little idea about this, in this country, we have total around 300 million smart meters that has to be replaced. As on date, only 130 million smart meters orders has been decided by the government. So more than 50% market is still remaining. So we have a very good future ahead of us. At the same time, as on date, there are tenders worth 45,000 crores in the market which are live, which should get decided in next 6 to 9 months. So I see a very good order flow coming in next 6 to 9 months.
Could you give us a sense of what the order inflow could be over the next 6 to 9 months? Because 45,000 crores is in the market for you to bid. What would your pass hit ratio suggest?
So I don't want to get into that, but I can say we are a very, very strong player in the market and will surely do well.
Got that. And what proportion of your current revenue and order book is from India, and how much of that is from overseas? Because you do have a lot of new projects that you've launched, right? New products. Yeah. I think we are going through some...
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. I think
I could not hear you. I'm sorry.
I said, so what we're trying to understand is what proportion of your revenue comes in from overseas, what comes in from India, what does your order book mix comprise of right now? You have some new products that you want to sell outside of India as well, right?
So currently our export business is, in terms of percentage, is very, very low because the domestic business has grown multifold. And international business takes its own time to establish. Currently, we are focusing significantly on 4 or 5 markets where we see in next 3 to 4 years, we should have a revenue stream of at least 500 crores from our international market. But it will take 3 to 5 years.
How much is that export number right now as a proportion of sales, and where does that number go to over the next, say, 5 to 6 years?
So currently, we are doing around 90-95 crores in the international exports business, which we feel in next 3 to 5 years, the way we are working on some strategic markets, it should be around 500 crores.
500 crores. All right. And just a quick word on your capacity, sir. Getting orders is great, but what kind of capacity you have on a per annum basis, if you could quantify it? How many meters did you sell last year?
So last year, we made around 1 crore plus meters. Okay. And this year, we are already producing almost 1.4 to 1.5 million meters comfortably every month, starting from July onwards. So this financial year, we expect, yes, it will go up significantly.
And capacity?
So capacity, you can say, is around 17 to 18 million meters annually.
Okay. And
20 million meters is required.
All right. And you don't need to put in any more capex, right? For now, 20 million is what you're comfortable with for you to get to that 6,500 crore revenue.
So currently, we will not be making any major capex, but yes, some tidbit capex continuously keeps going on in our business, but it won't be any major capex.
All right, we take that point. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal, for joining in and giving us your outlook for this business. Close to 4,000 crores revenue, which you're confident of beating in this year, margins around that 18% mark, and 25% plus revenue growth in the year after that as well. exports moving from nearly 100 crores to 500 crores over the next few years. That's about Genus Power. The only event that we need to watch out for is the liquidity that comes in from GIC at some point in time. With that, we'll take a short